resources and termed it as the second biggest continent in the world. There are fascinating mountains, forests, wildlife, lakes, deserts, and much more, but the sad reality is that they lay their foundation on very limited resources. Now, that does not mean that they have not tried to protect their culture, history, traditions, and wildlife. Yes, you guessed it right, we're talking about Africa, a country that has covered 6% of Earth's surface area, a country that is amazingly beautiful for its forests and wildlife. But do you know that the world's biggest wildlife migration is in Africa? What measures are taken to protect wildlife? What have they done today? When someone looks at Africa, the first thing that comes into their mind, wildlife. In today's video, we'll be talking about the untold story of African wildlife. I bet you will enjoy this one. But before moving forward, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Let's begin. From grasslands to deserts to jungles and forests, Africa contains a variety of environments. After Asia, it's the second largest continent and is home to a wide range of gigantic, stunning and dangerous nocturnal and daytime animals. Among these animals including mammals, reptiles, birds and insects, many of which are unique to Africa. It's a well-liked area for both safari enthusiasts and animal researchers due to its biodiversity. There are about 1,100 different species of mammals, plus over 60 carnivore species, 100,000 bug species, 3,000 freshwater fish species, and over 2,600 bird species. 15 to 20% of the world's insect population resides there. A country where animals seem to reside more than people must have their national animal. Every country has their national animal. What's the national animal of Africa? There aren't any official African animals that represent the entire continent because it's made up of numerous nations with unique cultures, languages, and environments. As a result, each nation has an official national animal, with some nations having multiple national animals or sharing a single national animal with other nations. Particularly if a country has more than one, national animals are frequently grouped by type. For instance, the American fish eagle is the official national bird of Namibia and Zambia, the oryx is the national animal of Namibia, and the leopard is the official national animal, land mammal of both Rwanda and Somalia. The springbok, blue crane, and galloon are the official national animals, birds, and fish of South Africa. Africa is known for their wildlife, but what exactly are the top African wildlife that makes someone go gaga over their presence? The top wild animals in Africa are many of them African natives, and they are the ones that tourists go on safaris to view. For the safety of humans as well as to prevent them from joining the African animal species that have gone extinct, these safari animals are kept in national parks, game reserves, and other sanctuaries. The big five, which include the lion, leopard, elephant, rhinoceros, and buffalo, are among the most well-known African creatures. They're all local animals and can be spotted in South Africa. Lions can be found in Tanzania's Serengeti National Park during the wildebeest migration and the Kgalagadi Transfrontier Park, which borders South Africa, Namibia, and Botswana. Leopard, South Luangwa National Park in Zambia and the Sabi Sands Game Reserve in South Africa. Elephant, the Hwangi National Park in Zimbabwe and the Kobe National Park in Botswana. Rhinoceros, black rhinos in Kenya's Olpeheta Conservancy and Namibia's Etosha National Park, white rhinos in South Africa's Lulwe Imfolozi Park and Kruger National Park. Katavi National Park in Tanzania and Chobe National Park in Botswana are both home to buffalo. But do you know which animal is the most loved in Africa? Do you know about the top wild African animals? Don't worry, we'll let you know. Giraffe, Rothschild's giraffe at Uganda's Murchison Falls National Park. Maasai giraffes in the Serengeti region. Cheetah, Okonjima Game Reserve in Namibia and the Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya. Hippopotamus, Botswana's Okavango Delta and Zambia's South Luangwa National Park. Crocodile, during the annual migration of wildebeests and zebras, Nile crocodiles can be observed in the Mara River in East Africa. Zebra, during the migration season, the Serengeti of the Masai Mara, the Gravy's zebra, is found in the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy in northern Kenya. Wild dog, the Hwangi National Park in Zimbabwe, the Madikwe Game Reserve in South Africa, and the Ruaha National Park in Tanzania. Loving animals and dangerous animals are two poles apart. When at some point there are loving animals in Africa, there must be dangerous ones too. Let's find out. Although they are not always handled with care and respect, land animals in Africa are a favorite draw for safari aficionados. Many deadly African animals, whether hostile or venomous, are among the most dangerous in the world after humans. Fortunately, national parks and game reserves are safe places to view the majority of dangerous African creatures. The top 10 most deadly African native animals, according to the anticipated annual number of human facilities, are mosquito, 100,000 fatalities annually from diseases like malaria, yellow fever, Zika virus, West Nile virus, and dengue fever. Third largest animal after elephants and rhinos, the hippopotamus is territorial and can weigh up to 1,500 kilograms, responsible for 3,000 fatalities. The largest land mammal, the unpredictable African elephant, can weigh up to 7,000 kilograms and tramples victims, killing 500 people annually. Nile crocodile, 300 deadly assaults, aggressive behavior. The lion is an apex predator that has killed 200 people in the local community or on the edges of wildlife reserves. Cape buffalo, known as the widowmaker and the Black Death, this bold, violent, and unpredictable animal can hunt down and murder people if left alone. It can weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and has been responsible for 200 fatalities. Great white shark, the most aggressive shark towards humans, charges at prey at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour before taking a sizable bite. 20% of the time, humans die from blood loss to fatalities. Rhinoceros weighs up to 2,800 kilograms and is the second largest animal after the elephant. When challenged, it becomes agitated and charges with long pointed horns at speeds of up to 64 kilometers an hour. Puff adder, although not the most venomous snake, due to its extensive habitat range, camouflage colors, and aggressiveness, this snake causes the greatest fatalities. 20% fatality rate from untreated bites unknown. Black mamba, the largest venomous snake in Africa, with a maximum length of 2.5 meters, one of the fastest snakes in the world, with a maximum speed of 20 kilometers an hour, very aggressive, one of the most venomous snakes in the world, with a fatality rate of 100% for untreated bites unknown. However, the sad reality is many of the animals are either extinct or on the verge of extinction. African wildlife consists of some endangered species that must be protected. Due to hunting and poaching, many species, especially big, dangerous animals that are sought as trophies, are vulnerable or endangered. The black rhino, white rhino, Rothschild's giraffe, gravy zebra, wild dog, grey-crowned crane, and okapi are among the endangered creatures in Africa. In addition, endangered species include the African forest elephant, lion, leopard, and cheetah. But is it only the animals that attract tourists to Africa? You might be wrong. There are plenty of birds too in the wildlife of Africa. Some of the names you might have heard and some of them you might have not. Let's see. Africa is home to a wide variety of bird species. In actuality, there are 2,341 different native bird species in Africa. 25 of them are endemic or found nowhere else. Birds can be found across the entire continent. Several iconic species are shoebill. In Central and East Africa, swamps and wetlands are home to these enormous birds. Shoebills spend their days hunting in papyrus wetlands and do not migrate. They can be found in Zambia's northern Bangweolu wetlands. Guinea fowl. In Africa, there are 6 different kinds of guinea fowl. They can be found in a range of environments all over the continent. These raptors, which can be found throughout sub-Saharan Africa, prefer to hunt on the ground. They frequently appear in Kagalagadi Transfrontier Park. The common ostrich is arguably the most well-known bird species in Africa. The greatest time to see big flocks of ostriches is from March to September during the breeding season. They can be found in southern Africa's savannas, forests and deserts, as well as in western Africa and the Horn of Africa. Numerous parks and wildlife refuges in Africa, such as Kruger National Park and Chobe National Park, have them. African penguins. The southern African coast and the nearby islands are home to African penguins. From November through August is when you might see them at their best. They are busiest around dawn and dusk. Boulders Beach in Simonstown, South Africa is a favorite location to observe African penguins. There are 24 different species of hornbills in Africa. Savannas, rainforests and woodlands in Africa are home to a variety of arboreal and terrestrial species. Southern ground hornbills can be found in Kruger National Park or Mapungubwe. Moving on, fishes are something that is really unimaginable in a country like Africa. However, there are some that can attract you. Do you know about any of these? Let's find out. Freshwater and saltwater fish are in great quantity in Africa. In Africa, there are several freshwater rivers and lakes. The African Great Lakes, a network of 7 lakes in East, South, and Central Africa are among the most significant. These lakes' kitchlet populations are well known. With more than 1,000 varieties of fish, Lake Malawi, one of the Great Lakes, is a particularly well-liked fishing location. In Lake Malawi, the best months for fishing are September through April, while the best months for underwater viewing are May through October. You may easily locate thousands of marine fish species in Africa because Western Africa borders the Atlantic Ocean and Eastern Africa borders the Indian Ocean. Popular fishing locations include Kenya, Tanzania, and Zanzibar, where you may catch a variety of tuna, shark, mackerel, marlin, and other fish. Off these coasts, deep-sea fishing is most productive from October to April. Mozambique offers a marine conservation area where you can see manta rays, sharks, eels, and a variety of reef species if you're interested in seeing marine life. The finest months to go snorkeling in Mozambique are from October through March. Now, we've talked about fish. Snakes are something that might not be left out, especially in a country like Africa. A wide range of snakes is present in the African wildlife. Have you ever encountered snakes in your life? Tell us in the comments below. Let's dive in on a pool of snake information in African wildlife. Africa is home to a large variety of snake species. Snakes can be found in all types of environments, including tropical, desert, and aquatic ones. In Africa, you can find both poisonous and non-poisonous snakes. Africa is home to 3 species of venomous snakes: cytotoxic, neurotoxic, and hemotoxic. Cytotoxins cause cell death. They decimate the cells of interior organs and soft tissue. Neurotoxins can paralyze people by affecting brain connections. Red blood cells are destroyed and blood coagulation is inhibited by hemotoxins. The following are some of the deadliest snakes in Africa. Black mamba, the longest and one of the fastest snakes in the world, native to Africa. African countries in the south and east are home to black mambas. They reside on rocky slopes and savannas. One of the world's most venomous snakes, in colloquial usage, native to the sub-Saharan savannas of Africa. In the tropical rainforests of Western and Central Africa, arboreal snakes called bush vipers can be found. Only found in southern Africa is the Cape cobra. They inhabit a variety of environments, including deserts, savannas, and grasslands. The West African carpet viper is unique to the continent's dry savannas. The most dangerous snake in Africa is this one. Arboreal snakes called eastern green mambas are indigenous to the coasts of southern and East Africa. They can be found in the dense tropical rainforest vegetation. Puff adder, commonly found in grasslands, open woods, and rocky savannas in sub-Saharan Africa. Not only the venomous snakes are present, but there are also some snakes that are non-venomous too. Several native non-venomous snakes to Africa include ball python, found in Western and Central Africa north of the equator. They can be found in forests and meadows that are close to water. Southern Africa is home to the brown house snake. Many people keep these snakes as pets. Various environments near water sources are home to spotted bush snakes. They have a wide range that stretches from the east to the west coasts of southern Africa and north into Central Africa. Africa's largest snake is the African rock python. It can be found in a variety of settings close to perennial sources of water in sub-Saharan Africa. Is that all in Africa? Wildlife does not only mean living in forests. There are rivers too. In Africa, there are numerous large rivers that are the habitat for a wide diversity of species. The Okavango River, which has an inland delta that covers 600,000 acres in swamps and floods during dry seasons to create a gathering place for thousands of animals, is one of the rivers in Africa. The Nile River is the longest in Africa at more than 4,000 miles and is a haven for wildlife in the harsh Sahara Desert. African rivers that are notable include Orange River. The Orange River forms the border with Namibia and flows 1,300 kilometers across South Africa. Numerous endemic fish, such as the Maluti redfin and Orange River mudfish, can be found in the Orange River. Zambezi River, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, Victoria Falls, is located along the Zambezi River, a gigantic 2,200-mile river. Numerous types of birds and a large range of other animals can be found in the Zambezi, including bull sharks. Now, having a deep understanding of African wildlife might help you out with the important information, but there are some interesting facts about African wildlife that will shock you. The 4 out of 5 fastest terrestrial animals in the world are cheetahs are the quickest, at average speeds of 70 miles per hour. The Thompson's gazelle, lion, and wildebeest all move at roughly 50 miles per hour. The Goliath frog, the largest frog in the world, is found in Cameroon. It has a 1-foot maximum length. The dwarf blue butterfly, which has a wingspan of 0.5 inches, is the tiniest butterfly in the world. It is found in South Africa. The largest and smallest chameleons in the world are both found in Madagascar, which is home to nearly half of all chameleon species. Shoals of freshwater sardines are only to be seen in Lake Tanganyika. The Goliath beetle is the biggest and heaviest beetle in the world. It may reach a length of 5 inches and a weight of 0.25 pounds in tropical Africa, where it resides. The male gorilla, the largest ape, can weigh up to 200 kilograms. The lion, the biggest cat, is also the biggest carnivore in Africa and the top predator in any environment there. The Nile crocodile, the second largest reptile after the saltwater crocodile, averages a length of 5 meters. Cape Cross in Namibia is home to the biggest seal colony in the entire southern hemisphere. And that's the end, guys. African wildlife is home to various animals and habitats. However, if you're looking forward to an adventurous ride, you must be aware of the dangerous species out there. Which animal information excited you the most? What are your views on African wildlife? Do you want to visit there once in a lifetime? Tell us in the comments below. And if you like our content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.